Hello, and welcome back to Sharing a Chapter a Day. This is Do, Ra, me, and today I will be reading Chapter 129 of Engagement in Peril by Dara, Odoe, Suk. Chapter 129 is titled Shinshin'S Demonic Outlets. Distraught and extremely confused from all the lives lost around him, especially of those he had come to love and adore, Shinshin began to seek out other comforts and seek out other means of relieving his built-up aggressions. He began to show signs of unconformity and delinquency. He began to be troublesome for the staff of the orphanage, more so than that they could handle. He began to speak out in disrespectable tones and gesture. He no longer cried or appreciated anything that was given or offered to him. He seemed to be possessed by the very demon that he had been born with less than a decade back in Okinawa, Japan. His place of birth in the Marine Corps base medical facility then. He once again became a loner. This time a loner in mind, spirit, and body. This Shinshin had become. He was uncontrollable and at the time ran away from the orphanage only to be picked up by the local police agency and returned to the foster care time after time again. After a while, Shinshin too had a police record for his constant juvenile delinquencies. At first, his delinquency was minute and minor offenses, nothing that could hurt anyone, not hurting the police public nor hurting himself. But as months and years passed, he began to have more illegal reputation of delinquency. As a result of his frequent delinquency, Shinshin began to avoid school and often ditched and ran about in the street. Shinshin was no longer looked at as an adoptable since he was a juvenile record. Since he has a juvenile record, no one wanted to adopt him. No hopeful child seeking parents was interested in him anymore, no matter if he was intellectually gifted. Detective Hampton's death was the last straw that drove Shinshin over the edge. From then on, Shinshin had involved himself with unhealthy habits and illegal means since the death of his third beloved. By the following year, Shinshin had ran away from the San Pedro orphanage and was jumped into a gang in a nearby city, and had been involved in numerous street vandalism and group fighting against rival gangs throughout Southern California. Shinshin had become a thug. Shinshin, his running off from the comfort and care of the orphanage, Shinshin grew taller and torn out. He was bigger than his teen at his age, and his size usually put some fear into people that saw him. Running with the gang of miscreants and misfit gave Shinshin quick reputations, and he made the rank quickly in his gang of mixed races and gender of the Hill Street Crew, a name that copied from the 80s television series of T.J. Hooker, a police sitcom starring William Shatner and Heather Locklear. After his many tasks and putting work for the gang, Shinshin was respected and admired by fellow and younger interested prospective members. Shinshin was tough and cold at most. He didn't question mistakes. He just simply dishes out pain and anguish amongst those he ran with and rival against. By the age of 16, Shinshin's reputation was mirrored by many others around him, and eventually he became a respected shot caller for his particular gang, which seemed to have a good grip of their territory because of Shinshin's effort and reputation. Shinshin slept where he could, mostly at his members' home, and ate and stole what he could get his hand on. The Hill Street Crew had a hierarchy of fringe associates and hardcore affiliates. Fringes consist of the youngest, inexperienced member. They are also known as wannabes. The associates were those who have been in the gang for a while. These are your neighborhood drug trafficker. Now the hardcore are the older member, the shot callers and bosses of the gang. They have put in their work and such. Some have been in the gang for more than a decade and had a family and kids of their own, and often been in and out of prison. These members ran the daily activities of their gang. With Shinshin involved in method of running their group, the Hill Street Crew grew to over 200 plus members and had about a 3-mile wide radius of territories on and around the Hill Street area. Shinshin's constant reputation alerted the local police and gang task units, and had made him a target by the police department. Though his face was unknown to the authority, his reputation placed him at the top of their interest logs. Shinshin avoided cops and authority as much as he could, and no one in his crew talked to cops about who Shinshin was and what he looked like. To feed their gang's habit and wants, the Hill Street Crew sold drugs, mainly marijuana and some meth, which they bought from local meth dealers. They simply cut the meth and repackaged it for their sale. Shinshin had also experienced making meth, but he knew it was volatile and hazardous, so he didn't really have much interest in cooking it up in their territory himself. The gang also stole, robbed, and shoplifted at local store where they sometimes patronized and visit. Mostly they all shared what they had. It was like another family to Shinshin, and he had become accustomed and had accepted where he was then. Thank you for listening. This is the end of chapter 129. Be on the lookout for chapter 130, titled Accepting Demonic Consequences. This is Do, Ra, me, and I'll see you later. Thank you.